In a professional kitchen setup, we don't guess, we measure. From receiving raw material to the moment it's served, temperature is the only thing standing between a perfect meal and a safety disaster. So in this video, we will cover the absolute temperature standards for receiving, storage, and cooking. Before moving ahead, we must understand the temperature danger zone. This zone is the window between 5 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius, where foodborne bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli multiply exponentially. And the sweet spot is 37 degrees Celsius, which is also the human body temperature. So our entire operation is a tactical battle to keep food out of this danger zone. Now let's come to our topic. The food chain starts when a delivery truck opens its gate at your receiving area. Along with invoice, you must check temperature. Deep frozen items must be received at -15 degrees Celsius to -18 degrees Celsius or colder. If the packaging is soft, damp, or shows large ice crystals or freezer burns inside the plastic, reject the delivery immediately. Meat or dairy products must be received at 5 degrees Celsius or below. However, municipal standards allow up to 8 degrees Celsius during transit, but anything higher is an automatic rejection. Fresh seafood must arrive packed in crushed ice, maintaining a core temperature of 0 to 2 degrees Celsius. After receiving comes the 15-minute transfer rule. From the moment you accept the above items, you have exactly 15 minutes to transfer those items entirely into their respective walk-in storage units. Leave them on the receiving floor any longer and surface temperature abuse begins. Once inside, the food enters holding storage. For clear understanding, we divide this storage area into different categories. Deep frozen items goes to deep freezers, maintained at -18 degrees Celsius or lower. This stops all bacterial growth. Chilled items goes to walk-in chiller, maintained strictly between 1 degree and 4 degrees Celsius. We keep it below 5 degrees Celsius to ensure we stay out of the danger zone. For fresh seafood, there is fish chiller, which maintain temperature between 0 to 2 degrees Celsius. The dry store, often neglected but vital. This is for your pulses, grains, and canned goods. It must stay between 10 degrees Celsius and 21 degrees Celsius, with a relative humidity level strictly below 65% to prevent moisture absorption, mold growth, and pest infestation. As a SOP, every kitchen must record these temperatures twice daily, once at the start of the morning shift and once right before closing the kitchen. When it's time for cooking frozen food, first it needs to be defrosted. Never leave frozen meat sitting out on a preparation table at room temperature to become normal or come at room temperature. This is a violation of food safety. Now, this process of safely bringing frozen food to an unfrozen workable state so it is safe for immediate cooking is known as thawing. For thawing, we have 3 safe methods used by professionals. Chiller thawing. It is one of the best methods. Firstly, the deep frozen food is transferred inside chiller at 4 degrees Celsius. It is slow, controlled defrost. Once fully thawed inside chiller, items must be cooked within 72 hours or safely discarded. Running water thawing. If you don't have that much time, place the item under cold running potable water. Water temperature must not go above 21 degrees Celsius. Once completely defrosted, it must be cooked within 4 hours. Microwave thawing. When you require to cook food immediately, then you can use microwave thawing. After microwave, cook it immediately. Now come to the last kill step, or cooking. This is where thermal energy destroys any active bacterial cell. Here, you need to memorize the internal core cooking temperature. For poultry, stuffed meats and leftovers, must hit internal or core temperature of 75 degrees Celsius and hold that temperature for at least 15 seconds. Minced meats, burgers, kebabs, sausages must reach a safe internal temperature of 71 degrees Celsius. Whole cuts of meat and seafood, such as steaks, fish fillets, and whole roasts, are safe at a core temperature of 63 degrees Celsius. Vegetables, starches, and other items like pasta, rice, potatoes. The internal core temperature must reach a minimum 60 degrees Celsius. When you're cooking in large quantity stock or base gravy for upcoming week, then the leftover or extras are put in walk-in chiller. But if you put a steaming hot stock or gravy into a walk-in chiller, it will raise the temperature of the room and put other ingredients in walk-in chiller at risk. So before storing, you need to cool it down. For cooling it down, you can use the blast chiller method. This specialized equipment uses high-velocity cold air to drive food down from a hot 75 degrees Celsius to a safe 5 degrees Celsius or below within 90 minutes. Then you can transfer it to walk-in chiller. And if your kitchen doesn't have a blast chiller, then you can use ice bathing, which is a manual cooling method. Use a shallow stainless steel pan set over an ice slurry. Bring it down to 5 degrees Celsius, but it may take up to 6 hours. If it takes more than that, it must be thrown out. Finally, let's look at the service phase. If food is not served immediately or if it is served on buffet, you have to maintain certain level of temperature so that it stay out of danger zone. For hot holding dishes like soups, carveries, the internal temperature must be maintained at 60 degrees Celsius or above. Also, check it every 2 hours. For cold holdings, such as cold cuts, salads, sushi, and desserts, it must stay at 5 degrees Celsius or below. Here do note the 4-hour rule. Any food that has been sitting in the danger zone for more than 4 hours must be discarded. No exceptions. Well, guys, that's all for today's video on food temperature. If you found this helpful, hit like button and share it. If there is any other topic you want me to cover, just comment down below. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to Hospitality Broadcast for more such insights.